What if I told you that within just 7 days, something as simple as an oil one you likely already have in your kitchen could help revive an essential part of your body that too many women over 60 quietly struggle with but seldom talk about? Let's speak plainly, because this matters. We're talking about vaginal dryness, sensitivity loss, and the quiet changes that occur down there after menopause changes that can quietly steal your confidence, your intimacy, and your comfort in your own skin. But here's the encouraging truth: it doesn't have to stay that way. No hormone creams, no messy prescriptions, no invasive procedures. Just one gentle, natural habit that can restore what time and tension may have taken away: your natural lubrication, your responsiveness, and your deep-rooted sense of womanhood. I'm Dr. Lisa Perriera, and for over 3 decades, I've dedicated my practice to helping women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond reclaim their vitality and connection to themselves. What I'm about to share is grounded in both clinical experience and evidence-based understanding, not hype or hope, but real possibilities. And it's something you likely haven't heard from your doctor. Because here's the surprising part: one of the most effective tools for restoring vitality in aging feminine tissue isn't something you'll find in a pharmacy. It's found in nature. Applied topically, used with care, and embraced as a daily ritual, it can stimulate circulation, awaken nerve response, and gently bring warmth and softness back to an area of the body that so many women believe is beyond restoration. And in just a few minutes, I'll walk you through exactly what this oil is, how to use it safely, what you can expect to feel day by day, and the small shifts that make a big difference. If you've been feeling disconnected from your body, or simply not like yourself, I invite you to stay with me. Before we go any further, take a moment to support this community of women healing together. Click subscribe, tap the notification bell, and if you're already feeling seen by this message, leave a comment below. Just type 1. And if not, type 0, and let me know how I can better support your journey. Every voice matters here. Why most women over 60 quietly struggle down there. In my practice, I meet women every week who sit across from me with an invisible weight on their shoulders. They're in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. They're vibrant, accomplished, and wise, but something feels off. They don't always say it aloud, but it's in their eyes, in the hesitation in their voice, the way they glance down when we talk about intimacy. They've quietly convinced themselves that this is just how aging works. But let me be clear. What's happening isn't a mysterious curse of age. It's a biological process that deserves attention, not resignation. After menopause, the body produces far less estrogen, and that drop affects more than hot flashes and mood swings. The tissues around the vulva and vaginal opening, once plump elastic and naturally lubricated, begin to thin and dry out. The arteries and capillaries that supply oxygen-rich blood to this area can narrow, reducing circulation and making the tissue less responsive. Nerve endings that once lit up at a gentle touch may now feel dulled or distant. For many women, this doesn't just impact pleasure, it can make intimacy painful or uninviting. And perhaps even more troubling, the brain begins to disconnect from this region. It stops registering the area as vital. That part of your body can begin to feel foreign. This isn't just physical, it's emotional, even spiritual. You may feel like a part of you has quietly slipped away, like the woman you once knew is harder to recognize in the mirror. That spark, that inner sense of sensuality and aliveness fades. And it doesn't just affect intimacy, it can erode your self-image, your confidence, and your energy. Let me share something personal. My own mother, a bright and deeply spirited woman who taught school for over 40 years, once told me, "Lisa, it's like I'm drying up from the inside out. Not just physically, but emotionally." She wasn't being dramatic. She was describing a real physiological shift, a loss of blood flow sensation and hormonal balance that many women face, but few feel equipped to talk about. But here's the good news. Just like my mother, many of my patients have found that when we restore circulation and gently reawaken the body's natural connection, they begin to feel like themselves again. Not just below the belt, but in their entire being. Because the female body, even after 60, still wants to respond. It just needs the right invitation. And as you'll soon see, that invitation doesn't have to come in the form of a prescription. It can come from a natural source that's been trusted for centuries and confirmed by modern research. So now you may be wondering, what is this natural tool? And how exactly can it help you feel like yourself again? Let's explore that next. Let's talk about the oil. The one that, when used correctly, can gently reawaken circulation, soften tissue, and reintroduce warmth and sensitivity to an area that may have felt dormant for years. It's not a pharmaceutical cream. It's not a synthetic lubricant. It's rosemary oil, specifically rosemary essential oil, diluted in a natural carrier like almond or coconut oil. And while many people think of rosemary as just a kitchen herb, this plant has a rich history in natural healing and more recently support from peer-reviewed research for its circulatory and anti-inflammatory properties. Studies show that rosemary oil contains compounds such as rosmarinic acid and cineol, which help dilate blood vessels and promote microcirculation when applied topically. It also has antioxidant and neuroprotective effects that support tissue recovery and healthy nerve signaling, source National Institutes of Health phytotherapy research. So how does that translate to your body? When applied gently to the outer genital region, specifically the vulva labia and clitoral hood, diluted rosemary oil sends a subtle signal to your body. Not a burning heat, but a soft, steady warmth. A sensation that many women describe as coming back to life. One of my patients, Eleanor, a retired nurse in her early 70s, had spent years feeling disconnected from her body. When I first introduced her to this oil, she was understandably skeptical. She'd tried hormone creams and store-bought moisturizers, but nothing helped her feel like herself again. She asked, "You really think this oil can make a difference?" I smiled and said, "I don't just think so. I've seen it." Within a week of daily use, Eleanor told me something that still gives me goosebumps. She said, "It's like a quiet hum under my skin, not pain, just presence. Like my body is remembering me." That's the power of blood flow returning to undernourished tissue. It's biology. But it's also more than that, it's empowerment. It's taking your health and sensuality into your own hands, literally. Because this isn't just about results, it's about ritual. Reconnecting with a part of your body that deserves attention, care, and compassion. A part of you that is still alive and responsive, even if it's been silent for a while. So now that you know what oil to use, let's walk through exactly how to use it. Because when it comes to natural remedies, the results come not just from what you use, but how you use it. How to apply rosemary oil safely and effectively. Here's where many women go wrong. They rush the process. They treat it like a task to check off the list instead of an act of healing. But the truth is, your body after 60 responds best not to speed, but to presence. So let's walk through this together step by step. This is the method I've taught to hundreds of my patients, and even to my own mother. Step 1. Prepare your blend. Rosemary essential oil must be diluted before use. It's potent on its own, so never apply it directly. Use a carrier oil like sweet almond, fractionated coconut, or jojoba oil. Mix 3 to 5 drops of rosemary essential oil into 1 tablespoon of carrier oil. Stir gently or warm the mixture in your palms until it reaches a comforting temperature, not hot, just warm enough to signal your body that something healing is about to begin. Step 2. Timing is key. The best time to apply the oil is after a warm shower or bath, when your pores are open and your body is relaxed. Find a quiet, private space where you can lie down or sit comfortably without interruption. Step 3. Begin gently. With clean hands, apply the oil blend to the outer labia and surrounding vulva area. Avoid inserting it internally. This is a topical treatment. Use soft circular motions, letting your fingertips move gently across the skin. Focus on tenderness, not pressure. Take slow breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let each stroke be intentional. Let each breath remind your nervous system that you're safe, you're present, and you're worth this time. Step 4. Give it time. The process only takes about 5 to 7 minutes. Some women start with once a day in the evening. Others prefer to use it both morning and night during the first week to encourage faster tissue response. Do what feels right for your body. One of my patients, Susan, a 68-year-old widow who hadn't touched herself in years, told me something I'll never forget. After 3 days of this practice, she said, "I didn't even realize how much I missed this. Not just the sensation, but the feeling that I was still here, still whole." That's why this practice is so powerful. It's not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming connection. Every touch sends a message to your body, "I haven't forgotten you." And the body in its quiet wisdom begins to respond. What to expect over the next 7 days. Now let's talk about what happens next, because many women ask, when will I start to feel a difference? And the answer is often sooner than you think. Here's a day-by-day glimpse of what's possible when you commit to this simple, consistent practice. Day 1. The shift begins emotionally. For many women, this is the first time in years they've touched this part of their body with love instead of frustration or obligation. That alone can be transformative. Day 2 to 3. You may begin to feel a gentle tingling or warmth. That's increased circulation. You might also notice the tissue becoming softer or more supple. These are real physiological signs of progress. Day 4 to 5, sensitivity often begins to return. Natural moisture may increase. Touch may feel less irritating and more pleasant. This is your body remembering how to respond, and you feeling more like yourself. Day 6. A deeper change emerges, not just physically, but emotionally. Women often describe feeling more confident, more grounded, more alive, and their partners notice it too. Day 7. This is what I call the mirror moment. You look at yourself and see not just aging, but awakening. The oil is working, yes. But more importantly, you've begun to reclaim something vital, your connection to your own body. And this is just the beginning. By now, you've seen what a simple, consistent daily ritual with rosemary oil can do. How it awakens sensation, invites circulation, and brings back a part of yourself that may have felt forgotten. But what if you could go even further? What if by combining this one oil with a few others, each with their own powerful properties, you could multiply the effects and create a truly transformative blend? Because here's what I tell my patients, nature works best in harmony. And just as no single nutrient can meet all of your body's needs, no single oil holds every answer. That's why I often recommend pairing rosemary with 3 other time-tested essential oils that support healthy tissue, improve blood flow, and gently balance the nervous system. These oils aren't exotic or expensive. In fact, you may already have some of them at home. But when used together, they create a synergistic effect that can accelerate healing and deepen your connection to your body. Let's begin with the first one. Ginger oil. Yes, the same root you might use to flavor tea or stir-fry is also a potent circulatory stimulant. When applied topically, ginger oil helps warm the tissue and dilate blood vessels, increasing blood flow to areas that have grown sluggish or cool with age. In one 2022 study, published in Complementary Therapies in Clinical Practice, ginger was shown to enhance peripheral circulation and reduce inflammation when used in massage oil. When combined with rosemary, the two oils create a dynamic duo, one expanding the blood vessels, the other calming inflammation and reviving nerve endings. One of my patients, Margaret, described it as her wake-up blend. After just a few days of adding ginger oil to her nightly massage, she said it felt like sunshine spreading under the skin. Lavender oil. Now I know what some women think lavender is for stress or sleep, not for circulation. But here's the truth. Tension is one of the biggest barriers to female pleasure, especially after 60. A tight pelvic floor can restrict blood flow, blunt sensitivity, and make arousal feel like work instead of joy. Lavender doesn't just calm your mind, it helps relax pelvic muscles and encourages your nervous system to soften into safety. Think of it as the oil that opens the door. It doesn't stimulate the way rosemary or ginger do, but it prepares your body to receive. And for many women, that's what's been missing: permission to relax, to release, to let sensation in. Geranium oil. Sometimes called the woman's oil, geranium has long been valued for its ability to support hormonal balance and soothe irritated skin. Its light floral scent has a calming effect, and when used topically, it nourishes the delicate tissue and helps improve skin tone and elasticity. Geranium doesn't produce immediate warmth like ginger or rosemary, but over time it adds a restorative quality that many women describe as balancing or nurturing. In fact, studies suggest that geranium essential oil may have a positive effect on estrogen-regulated pathways, though more clinical research is still emerging. Source: Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine 2020. How to create the blend? I recommend starting with a base of sweet almond or fractionated coconut oil. In 1 tablespoon of carrier oil, add 3 drops of rosemary essential oil, 2 drops of ginger oil, 1 drop of either lavender or geranium oil. You can alternate based on how you feel. Warm the mixture in your palms before applying, and use the same gentle circular massage technique we discussed earlier. Remember, this is external only on the outer labia, clitoral hood, and surrounding area. What I love most about this blend is that it can be customized to your needs. If you're feeling low on energy or sensation, increase the rosemary and ginger slightly. If you're feeling anxious or tight, lean more into lavender and geranium. Your body will guide you if you listen closely. Because this isn't just about chemistry. It's about communication, learning to hear your body's signals again, and responding with care. Beyond the oils, daily habits that amplify results. Now let's be honest. Even the most powerful oil blend won't reach its full potential if the rest of your lifestyle is working against it. That doesn't mean you need to overhaul your life. But there are a few simple research-supported changes that can help you go from short-term improvement to lasting transformation. 1. Hydrate more than you think you need. Vaginal tissues, like every organ in your body, depend on water to stay healthy. And as we age, our thirst signals can become less reliable. Aim for at least 6 to 8 cups of water per day. Add a slice of lemon or cucumber if that helps you drink more. 2. Move your body gently but consistently. You don't need to start running marathons. Just 20-30 minutes of light walking, yoga, or stretching each day can increase blood flow to the pelvic area. Movement keeps circulation active and helps your oil massage deliver even better results. 3. Rethink your breath. Deep belly breathing does more than calm your nerves. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is essential for sexual function and arousal. When you breathe deeply, your pelvic floor relaxes and your body gets the signal that it's safe to feel. 4. Stop apologizing for wanting pleasure. This one may be the hardest, but also the most important. Many women over 60 have been conditioned to believe that sensuality is for younger women, or that desire is something to feel embarrassed about. But that belief, quietly accepted, can block your healing more than any physical condition. One of my patients, Carol, said something that still resonates. She told me I thought I had to earn pleasure, or that it was selfish to want more. But now I realize it's part of being alive. She was right. It's not indulgent. It's human. The oils help your body respond. The habits help your body sustain it. And your mindset. That's what sets it all in motion. Because here's the truth, your body is listening. And it doesn't take much to change the conversation. Let's take a moment to talk about something deeper. Because while rosemary oil and its botanical companions can absolutely help bring blood flow, moisture, and responsiveness back to your most intimate areas, that's only part of the story. The real transformation begins when you stop treating this as a short-term fix and start embracing it as a lifelong rhythm. A quiet, daily declaration that says, "My body still matters. I still matter." When I first introduced this ritual to patients, many approached it as a trial, something to try for a week and see what happens. But what surprised me wasn't just the physical improvements. It was how many of them came back weeks later and said, "This isn't just working, it's become part of me." Diane, a 66-year-old retired teacher, described it perfectly. She said, "This little ritual has become as natural as brushing my teeth or reading before bed. It's no longer something I have to remember, it's something I look forward to." And that's the shift I hope you reach, not just improvement, but integration. Because the female body is incredibly wise. It responds to consistency. It thrives on care. And the more often you show up for it, the more it will respond. So how do you make this last? Start by anchoring the ritual to something you already do, perhaps after your nightly skincare routine or after your morning stretch. Keep your oil blend in sight, not hidden in a drawer. Let it become part of your environment, a gentle reminder that you are worth this time. You don't need candles or music or a spa-like setting, just your breath, your hands, and your willingness to be present with your body in a loving, non-judgmental way. Some women begin their ritual with light stretching or gentle hip circles movements that activate pelvic circulation. Others add a warm compress or a few drops of essential oil to a soft cloth to begin relaxing the muscles before applying the blend. But at the core of it all is your intention, not to fix something broken, not to reverse time, but to come home to yourself. And that more than any oil is what creates lasting change. A final word to every woman over 60. After 30 years of caring for women across every stage of life, I've come to believe one truth above all else. Just because a part of your body has been quiet doesn't mean it's gone. It may be resting, it may be waiting, but it is not gone, and neither are you. Too many women tell me they feel invisible after 60, not just to the world, but to themselves. They say things like, "I'm not the woman I used to be," or "I guess this is just how aging works." But I want to gently challenge that belief, because aging doesn't mean losing your vitality. It means relearning how to connect with it. It means paying attention to what your body needs now, not what it needed 30 years ago. And attention is the most powerful healing tool you have. When you touch your body with intention, when you breathe into it with care, when you show up for it every day, not with judgment, but with compassion, it will respond. I've seen it again and again. Women in their 70s rediscovering sensitivity. Women in their 80s feeling confident again. Women who thought they were past all that, standing tall, smiling, softer, walking differently. Because it's never too late to feel connected, sensual, and whole. And you don't need to chase youth to get there. This isn't about turning back the clock, it's about turning toward yourself. Tonight, when the house is quiet and you have a few moments to yourself, I invite you to try something simple. Warm the oil between your palms, take a few deep breaths, and touch your body like it belongs to you, because it does. You are not done. You are not invisible. You are not too old. You are still here, and every cell in your body is listening for that truth. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you. Truly. You've taken a powerful step, a step most women never do. You chose to show up for your own wellness, your own pleasure, your own aliveness. And that matters more than you may realize. Somewhere along the way, many of us were told subtly or directly that after a certain age, we should expect less joy, less intimacy, less care. But that is not your truth. You are still capable of pleasure. You are still worthy of connection. You are still allowed to feel beautiful in your body. What we've shared today isn't just about rosemary oil. It's about attention. Because wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. And when you direct that attention inward with love, not shame, you don't just restore sensation. You restore a relationship with yourself. So I invite you now, not just to try this practice, but to make it yours. Let this be the beginning of something lasting, nourishing, and true. And if this message touched you, I would be honored if you joined our growing community. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts or your story, whatever feels right. If there's another woman in your life who needs to hear this, please share it with her. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. We are building a place where women over 60 are seen, heard, and celebrated, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And remember, let it hear something beautiful.